last year, although it's believed thousands more take place. Sue Jameson with this.
Banat Mahmoud killed for having an affair, a so-called honour killing. Her father and uncle were sent to jail. She was just one of hundreds of victims of forced marriages. The new Honour network is literally a lifeline. And there's a big difference between an arranged marriage and a forced marriage.
A forced marriage is where you do not have the consent of either one party or the other. So one or the other are saying, I don't want this. It's clearly that. And where duress is a factor.
All the people manning the phones here understand how hard it is for victims of forced marriages to pick up the phone in the first place, because they've all been here. But they hope that their experiences, therefore, are going to be able to throw a lifeline to somebody else before it's too late. Shazia is one of those who survived despite having little or no help when she needed it 10 years ago.
My parents kept me at home as a prisoner for a whole year, and the question wasn't asked where I was. I was then taken abroad on false pretences, which was a family holiday. I'm a British-born subject. I've never been abroad in my life. Once we arrived in Pakistan, I was forced to marry.
The new helpline could show that the hundreds of cases dealt with by the Foreign Office each year are just the tip of the iceberg.
It's amazing, isn't it, Rizzi? This is Sameem Ali. She was taken to Pakistan when she was just 13 years of age, and she was forced to marry a man who then abused her, and the story does go on and on, doesn't it? Sameem, good morning to you.
Good morning.
What happened at the age of 13?
I was taken to Pakistan, and a few months later, my mother forced me to marry this man, and I was only allowed to come back to the UK after I got pregnant, and so I didn't know what pregnant was at that time, and so I just prayed that I got pregnant, and my mother told me I was pregnant a few months later, and I was brought back to the UK.
I mean, was there anybody to defend you?
There was nobody at all.
To talk to?
Nobody to talk to.
School friends?
No, because I left school when I was 12 years old,
yeah.
And nobody asked any questions.
Yeah.
And yeah.
How did you get out of this situation?
I
know it's a long story, and I wish we had longer. But how did you put a stop to this? Because it was you, wasn't it?
Yes, it was me. I plucked up the courage because my son started to get the same treatment as I did, and so I plucked up the courage, picked him up, and just left one day.
So you left the husband that you'd been forced to marry? No,
I left my family because my husband wasn't here at that time.
Right. So this was back in the UK. You left your family.
Yes.
And what was the reaction of your family?
My brother sent some people down to kidnap me.
Your brother did that?
My brother did that, yeah.
See, this is incomprehensible to people, really, isn't it? You know, that this culture can exist amongst us all.
It's all in the name of honour, really, and honour crimes do exist. And
what were they intending to do? These men?
I think they would have kidnapped my son and took him back to Pakistan, and hence I would have followed him and ended up back in Pakistan.
And how were they stopped?
They were caught on the motorway, a routine stop by the police, and so somebody up there was looking over me that day, and they found nunchucks and baseball bats in the boot, and questions were asked by the police. But
you got out of it?
Yes.
You're alive and well?
Yes.
Your son is as well?
Yes.
And your contact with family?
Ish. Hello. If and when we see each other.
You still find it within yourself to even talk to them?
I don't believe in festering anger, because it just
it doesn't help, does it?
It doesn't help.
It's destructive.
It would have made me into a hateful person, and I was determined not to let my experience turn me into a bitter person. You
could have used somebody to talk to, couldn't you? I mean, this needs to stop, basically, doesn't it? I mean, if we're being absolute about this, there's a thing called the Honour Network, which is starting now, and there's a helpline associated with this. Would that have helped you? Could it have helped you?
It would have helped me after I had escaped, yes, but not before. I think more prevention mechanisms have to be put in place, and more questions need to be asked at the level.
Does this happen to men as well as women, boys as well as girls? Because there's no consent on either side, I noted. I assume females are the victims in most of these honour crimes, but it's male and female.
It's male and female. It happens to both of them, more so to the women and the girls.
Yes. 0800 599 9247, and you'll see there from the graphic the lines open from 4 p.m. Today, and it has to be a good thing. That's the Honour Network. It's lovely talking to you.
Thank you.
Thanks very much for coming in.